Sup, fuckers? I'm back. It is currently 3:35 p.m. on September 1st, 2023. My 21st birthday is in 4 days, and I'm fucking confused about it. Anywho, let's get this show on the road with Nikolai's update. Extras. Here's Nick. A big lug. Latest update. Yes, please. Did you find Yao helpful or suspicious? I found him helpful. Whose name did you give to Porter? Well, first time I gave him Ben's name, but I changed my mind and gave him Nick's name instead, so I'm gonna do Nick. Oh, for fuck's sake, what the fuck was the fucking lock combination, mate? I really should write this shit down. God damn it. Okay, I'm gonna pause it and try to remember this. Yeah. Alright, I found it. It is 8 turning left, 16 right, and 3 left. Did you accept Nick's proposal? I'ma stick to my answer here and say that I told him I needed to think on it. Did I say I wanted to wear his armor? I don't remember, actually. I'm pretty sure I said no because fuck James, he's a terrible person. So I'm gonna go with my gut and say that I said no. Even though in reality, if I was in that situation and someone said, hey, you want to wear this suit of armor, I'd be like, totally, why wouldn't I? I said no. Oh boy, I don't remember what is going on here. I don't remember. I think they just got back from the, meeting? I don't remember. Ben looks at us with the forced kind of look that only comes from a man who doesn't really know how to restrain himself. Seems to be the way of things when you happen to show up. But I've only ever been genial. That's not his voice. Really, you've only ever been genial? That's a fucking lie. I remember that much. That's not true. You tried to hurt me. Twice. Bullshit. He's not denying a way that sounds convincing, but he blusters on. Took you by the hand, gave you a newcomer's welcome and everything. And you throw it in my face, rubbing like a fool all the while you give thanks to those lazy union sons of bitch. Oh boy. Fuck this prick. Ah yes, lazy union son of bitches, while they're being scammed out of money that they should be getting for working their fucking asses off in what is ostensibly the most dangerous place in Echo. Of course, they're totally lazy. Fuck you, Ben. I hope you get torn apart by that spider demon. He tisks and shakes his head. Rowan, mate. Oh, man, still blubbering like a... Shut the fuck up, you piece of shit, you toxic, absolute horrible individual. Sorry, really? There are people watching us through the windows now. Kinda glad for that. There's no telling what this man would do if he ever caught me actually alone. If nobody were here, I wouldn't be looking for a weapon bulging from his shoe or his pockets. Oh boy. Nick loves his hat. I'm so mad I could spit. What? I feel like the more appropriate sentence is I feel so mad I could punch his lights out or something, but spit? Okay. You took it. Bares his teeth. Wrong! With a lazy smirk. Might have a hunch you did. I keep fucking slipping out of his voice by accident. Okay. Who then? Somebody's acting with... Oh my god. Somebody was acting with keys on... Whatever, fuck it. That's his voice now. That's his voice now. This prick doesn't deserve an actual attempt. He nods. Like that tiger with the slanty eyes. I can't believe that bullshit. Shit-eating prick. There's much worse things that he could be eating than shit, Sam. Like poison, for instance. Slip some rice into his lunch tomorrow, why don't ya? Ain't the most likely suspect, you. He starts laughing. You really think I got time to waste on something like that? I do. Why'd you say a thing like that? Starring every somebody and grow up you. Ah, yes, it's apparently a communist thing to want to be paid an actual livable wage, huh? It's a communist. If you, fuck you. Okay, I genuinely hope he gets torn apart by the spider demon now. If you knew anything about the real world, you know I care about my friend. I don't care about any of this convoluted horse shit. You're the one who was here after all. Seems pretty clear to me that you know where the damn hat is. Of course I do, you bum. It's the messenger. You'd be thanking me, really. Where is it? He mumbles to his advances on the dog. It's a lot quicker than you think for somebody his size. Wow. Wow, Sam. I mean, yeah, he's not exactly my body type, but Jesus, that's a bit cruel. Your friend. See the red in his eyes. Ugh. I'd give it up right now if I were Ben. Tell me! Whoa, 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 it's the boss who's holding it, not me. He stops, his worry crosses his face. The boss. James? Doesn't let him go out of his eyes. No, not fucking James. Briggs, the real boss. Goddamn slow. Alright. Hardly ever see his face. That he keeps slipping. That sentence is fucked, I think. Where is he? At his office. This late? Well, operations working overtime thanks to some people. He doesn't address the comment. He just starts walking down the gravel road toward the direction of the mine. Ben walks past me, cupping his paws to his muzzle and shouts, "You're welcome for the directions, big guy!" Nick's still ignoring him. Bumps shoulders to me aggressively as he walks the direction that he came. Watch where you're standing. Try to shove him back, but he's already out of my reach. No time for you tonight. His walk breaks into a jog as the gap between us grows and he disappears into the alley shadows of some nearby cabins. I think I should go after Nick, even though he doesn't seem to want me to. That is one way to solve this hint. There he is. There's the guy. I was wondering where the fuck he went. I jump when I hear the tiger's voice, who shows himself emerging from the alley around the corner. I was worried you were somebody else. A practical thing to worry about. You grow more observant. What's the real reason Ben was here? The bosses have a skeleton key. They have looked through our belongings during the daylight before. Many have been fired for their positions. Is it a good idea to keep the map of mine out in your locker then? I have a way to know if they find it. They have not. I don't have time to ask him how he safeguarded his drawings, but I haven't caught him in the lie yet. Yeah, that's what smart people like. He's not on the level as like Littlefinger or Varys, but he's kinda. I imagine that he's kind of a bit of a schemer, considering everything we know about him. I look away watching Nick slowly disappear down the long and open road. A hat isn't worth all this trouble. He knows tonight is the last opportunity we'll have to get the gold. You should watch over him. I do not think he will go without that hat. make sure he gets it back. Y'all want to go back in the mine after what you saw in there last time? Okay. That's bravery. That's more bravery than I'd have if I saw a fucking spider demon. Tiger smiles. And how? Hopefully you'll just give the damn thing back. Lower my voice. But I'll swap it if I have to. Not like it belongs to him anyhow. Good. Theft is the only action men like them understand. But there are rules. They only have themselves to blame. What are you gonna do? I am going to prepare for tonight. In case we run into something we should not run into. You really think you can handle what's down there? I was wondering when you were going to address it. I was wondering. Oh, I wouldn't, would I? I wouldn't enjoy the music, huh? Okay, sure. Sure, buddy. Sorry, my friend just DM'd me. Yeah. I don't think they can. I don't think they can handle what's down there, to be completely honest. I have a distraction, at least. But I do not think we should need it if we get what we need and leave. I don't know if I really believe what he says, but it's not like we're going to leave that gold down there. If we want to get out of town and stay on our feet for a while, we have to get this money. He gives me a rough pat on the shoulder. The touch surprises me coming from him. Might have surprised him too by the look in his face, but he doesn't give either of us the chance to dwell in it, turning away and disappearing in the shack. I start to walk down the same gravel road that Nikolai. Full name, not just Nick? What happened? Okay, well, I guess I did say that I'd have to think about it, because you don't just jump into a fucking relationship that fast, especially a fucking marriage, good lord. As I leave the shacks behind me, there's nothing either side of me but a near endless expanse of rock desert. But I can't shake the feeling that somebody's eyes are on my back. Somebody might assume I'm here to make money off of their struggle. Hopefully not. Now, it would certainly make me mad if it were me. Mad enough to kill, maybe. It's not so safe to be out and walking around by myself. But I won't be alone once Nick is back. There it is. You can see the light of the office on the hills in the distance. Oh my god. Here's another message. Another message. Of course you do. Of course you do, my good fellow. Oh boy. I'm still shocked that there's an actual town in Utah named Echo with an Echo Valley nearby. That is... Oh man, if I went to that town, I don't know how to, like, obviously it's not actually fucking cursed, but still. Like, it would be kind of surreal. Because, yeah, it's a town named after a town that I know a lot about from a game, so it'd be kind of spooky walking around it, you know? As I get closer, the crickets stop chirping. Run. If nature goes silent, you need to get the fuck out of there. That feeling like I'm being followed sneaks up on me again. I can see very clearly all around me there's nobody here. Yeah, it's time to run. So all I can do is keep walking forward until my feet hit the wood of the office. Hit the wood of the office's deck. The immediate presence of another person at this hour makes it just a little less daunting. It's the secretary. She's at her typewriter typing away until she sees me. Can I help you? I need to know where my friend went. His name is Mr. Kroll. He's a big badger and bigger than me. Here's an email from Mr. Briggs. I need to know what they're saying. Just wait for me to just type in. That's a close conversation. Panic starts to take over. You're with Dimitri, right? Gives me a sharp look. So it's true then. I know him. I'm with him. I really need to know what they're saying. For me, the first time she takes her hands away from the keyboard. I can do what you ask if you deliver a document for me tonight. To where? To the library town. Oh, Lord of the Moors. First we're getting this dude, and then we're getting him. Oh boy, I'm so happy. Time to have a chat with the Moors. Oh boy. There's a man who always stays there late. I know him. She pauses. Then you should have some idea of how important the delivery will be. She points to the mail slot in the door. If you use a pen, then there's enough gap to see without them hearing. Walk up to her desk and quickly snatch a pen from a cup. Why are you helping me? I'm not. I just think no unsustainable industry is an inherent right. I just think no unsustainable industry has an inherent right to exist. Share a common goal. Gestures to the door. Oh, I like this. This is cool. Wait, that's not. That's not him. I crouch and use the pen to open the mail flap. I hear them better now that I can see them, but I can find the right angle to see both of the men. Oh my god, I'm stupid. It's Briggs, not. It's not the other dude. Damn it, I was open. And glares at it a bit before sitting on the table. Nicholas King is your name, yes. Nick's ears twitch and he scratches the back of his head, shuffling a bit in his chair. Bruh. Tell him you're. Why are you. Okay. Too ashamed, I guess. Yes, sir. I see. Briggs puffs in his cigar and sits back like he's thinking, careful what to say next. May I know? They seem to call you Nikolai Kroll. Want to explain why that might be the case to me? Yes, of course. Nicholas King is a direct translation of my birth name from Lakia. They mean the same thing. The collie's neck stiffened and he exhales through his nose. Well, but they don't, do they? Nick shuffles again. I do not know what you mean. It's pretty simple. If they meant exactly the same thing, then they'd be the same thing. You know, Nikolai sounds like as much of a Rus name as it is Lakian. But you're a member of the USC now, aren't you? Yes, of course. And you wouldn't want a case open presenting non-patriot. Fucking piece of shit. No, sir. But Nick Kroll, my conspirator pops into my head before I can think of what the actual accusation might be. This is 1915, right? I'm pretty sure that's when the... I'm pretty sure 1915 is when the revolution happened in Russia, so that I guess this makes more sense than I thought it did. Or maybe I'm just stupid. I'm probably stupid. Not gonna lie, I probably am. Or is that when Bloody Sunday happened? Whatever. Yeah, it's about that time period. 1917 is the actual date, but do you get what I mean? Nick puts his palm in his pockets, clenching into a fist. Yes, I get what you mean. Briggs sits back, bouncing against the back of his chair, paws folded back, up. And Nicholas King it is. Picks up the hat again. This hat wasn't made in this country, was it? Nick stares. Why do you say? Because it's pretty apparent that gas canisters are 2 inches thicker than our standard hats. So fucking what? Oh no, the hat's fucking. Oh no, it's. Ugh, I fucking hate this shit. It's no burden to transfer gas from the cans that the company supplies to this one. Didn't ask if it was a burden. Larger cans increase the risk of a greater blast if you encounter pockets of gas. The metric of the gas container has never been an issue before. Mrs. Innes leans toward Nick again. Perhaps, but his new concerns arise so do new conditions. Fuck you. Who brought you my hat? You're the ticking clock on the wall. It doesn't matter who brought me the hat. Nick stands. But it does. Somebody took this from my private locker. Take a seat, Mr. King. Here's this Robert. The collie stares back. Slowly, Nick slumps back into the office chair. I'm happy to remind you that those lockers in those houses are completely and irrefutably company property. If you're looking for the hand that confiscated your cap, just save yourself the trouble and consider it mine. But the hat is my property, sir. It is one of the very few things on this planet that is mine and mine alone. And I would like to have it back. Cigarette bobbing as if considering. Go ahead and take it. Nick smiles. But if you choose to wear this hat on duty anywhere inside of my mines, then you can't work under the CSGC anymore. Employment going for I fucking butchered that. Not that you're working much anyway, considering the strikes you and your lot are posing. The reason we strike is your inflexibility. These cappers say my life more times than I can count. You banished my count from your workplace, and you are sentencing me to starvation or a deadly accident. Murder retreated, the more I want to help you succeed. The strikes, the anger, the instability, it can all go away. Just need to have the money to feed our families and the dignity of our lives beyond just work. Briggs sighs. The bridge of his nose and rubs the bag under his eyes. I have a much better way of dealing with this operation's immediate problems. For a migrant, you're an intelligent man, Mr. Fuck you, oh my god. Garbage human. Sorry about. Oh, you guys didn't even know something up. It's just paused, whatever. I don't know why I mentioned it. Yeah, but seriously, fuck this dude. You have impressive technical school credentials and years of experience without making any mistakes or sustaining major injuries. But unfortunately, you, a greater deal of the softer sex, and a few remaining pockets of Europa still seem to live in this naivete of a utopian dream. You want to know the secret who most of the men who lead industry in this country will never tell their subordinates. Tell me. You see, I value fairness in its most brutal simplicity by letting the men know the truth. And the truth of this industrial age is a very simple one. Your life or your death at the scale on which we work isn't just a competition between you and another fella. It's between you and 100 other fellas. By today's standards, just prosper with a family of 5, it is demanded that we slit the throat of 500 other. Oh my god. Okay. This is a fucking disturbing look into the mind of this piece of shit. He smiles. Gentili. Oh yes, of course. Fucking killing 500 people. That's just that can be done in a soft way, totally. So we do this as politely as we know how, and neatly and cleanly as our conscience allows. So you're okay with people fucking dying because you're too greedy to give them money, but you still have to find some way to help yourself sleep at night, I get it. I don't bother re-educating my own mother in this manner because she's Quite happy to live as she does, thinking her own golden rule way. Oh, you mean respect? Mutual respect? Yeah. And of course, unbeknownst to her, I've already taken care of the 100 alternatives. So with that truth lying at my feet every day, do you really think that I have the space in my head to give the damn about a life or death of a singular man based on his eccentric proclivities? Wow. Fuck you. To be frank, your odds of survival aren't good to begin with. But if push comes to shove, you should try to be one of the ones, not one of the 100. And if hearing that makes you want to slit my throat, then I've done you a favor. Get a new cap and do better, sir. Or else go home and stop. This is honestly the most disturbing scene in his route so far, outside of the cave sequence, because there are people in the world, even today, that think like this. Meanwhile, I fucking lose sleep at night because I worry myself of what other people might be experiencing in the world and the fact that I can't do shit to help them. Nikolai stands but says nothing. He takes his hat, he puts it on, he starts walking towards the door. Walking towards me. Still trying to process the shock of what I've heard, but my instincts are screaming for me to get up and move. You're coming. Go away in the conference. Go away in the conference room across the hall. Quickly. Harshneffer always told me that she won't even try to help me if I get caught. The door of the conference room is thankfully unlocked, and I don't see the light on. Fortunately, I'm moving in the room. See somebody stand up in the dark. Who's there? Then to see the room be empty. Beck and Morris sitting there with a briefcase full of paperwork. These days before walking out of his door. You. Now hold on. I know I did something like last time we talked, but I remember just today that I found something that I think belongs to you. Take the brown folded piece of leather out of my pocket and show it to him. Round pupils turn to more of a slit when he sees it. Now, where'd you happen to pick that up? It was just there in my locker the first day of work. Wouldn't be the first time somebody fucked with somebody new. Show me what's in it. I want to make sure nothing's missing. I open it and show him. There's a few banknote slips and a company ID with a stamp on it, a couple dollar bills. Turn it upside down, a thicker piece of paper slips out. There's a picture of a big family group of Gilas. One of them has his head torn out of the image. He's touched on the shoulder by a much older looking lizard, who's also touching Hila, who looks like a slightly younger Beckett. What's that? Glares. A reminder. Looks like everything's here, so thank you for the return. Merely, though I already searched your things for it. What, you think I stole it? Most people steal when they're desperate. I checked a whole bunch more places before your locker if you want to get weepy over it. Nah. I have to admit, the photos got me curious, though. But it wasn't a bitter laugh. Well, it's not really a secret I keep once folks lay eyes on it. Points at the photo. That's me, my late cousin Amos, and the good-for-nothing spawn from hell, how I used to call my twin brother. Is his name Porter, perchance? His lips thin, I can see more of his reptilian teeth. So you met him. He seems dangerous. I'd call him Viper with legs, but I wouldn't want to offend the Vipers. What did he do? He looked back into a grimace. I'm glad you asked. See, my brother loves his secrets. But me, I much prefer airing my grievances to anybody who has the sensibility to listen. How much you know about genetic diseases? Not much. You ever heard of Huntington's disease? No, really, no. Well, it's a terrible thing. You can be just fine until you're 30, 40, even 50 years old before you get the symptoms. What are the symptoms? First, you stop moving. After a while, you don't talk so good. Then you stop breathing. It's fatal. Sure as shit, yeah. It's all on account of at a part of your brain hollows out slowly over time. What's interesting about the disease is that it's easy to know who might have it, allowing you out the right paperwork. 5 years ago, my brother and my cousin had a fairly equal running chance for an administrative position in town hall. I'm no pencil pushers, so I had no skin in that race. Never felt comfortable being around holier than thou pricks to pretend they're too good to get their hands dirty. And either way, those two were just as bright as they were ambitious. So I figure there's not much harm or competition between family, right? Wrong. Porter shows up with the paperwork on a Wednesday night showing off our entire family genealogy. Amos, his uncle, his father, and his grandfather all had symptoms in their 30s. So it was almost certain that he had the disease as well. Truth of this coming out meant he lost all of his support with the town council and was asked to reconsider even running in the first place. Naturally, Porter got the job. Amos didn't just quit chasing his ambitions. He quit taking care of himself altogether. And when he first discovered he really had the symptoms, he put a bullet in his head. Christ is right, Sam. Me and Porter are twins. We used to be closer than you could have possibly imagined. But knowing what he did to my cousin didn't exactly make me feel comfortable around him. I made that very clear. Just know that if that's what Porter will do to his own flesh and blood, imagine what he'd do to strangers. I don't want to think too much about the details I've given that man, or the fact that I've been asked to see him again. Thank you for returning my property to me. Thank you for acting reasonably. Just here to kill a little tall friend of mine finishes an appointment with the boss. Can't imagine it's anything good if he had to speak directly to the boss. No, that one not. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna save here, and then I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna see if that leads anywhere good. And Mr. Moore, he looks away from a stack of papers again. What now? Last time we had a talk, well, he screamed and ran away from me. It was a shitty day, but it still happened. Sure as shit happened, yeah. Sometimes I hallucinate. And naturally I get worried about those hallucinations considering my family history and all. Makes me wonder if I'm just a ticking time bomb too, even if the doctor says I'll be fine. What do you say? Just some bullshit that won't ever matter. If it doesn't matter, then you could say what you saw when you looked at me. Pauses are open with his papers. It wasn't you, but rather what was right behind you. I thought it was your shadow at first. Or maybe your reflection in a mirror till I remember this room doesn't have a goddamn mirror. Your eyes on this other you were too small and too far apart. Then I saw your mouth and your teeth get too big for the rest of your body. Your face would shift, expanding sometimes, then shrinking, like a gas without form but expressive in segmentations, like no gas I have ever seen before. I felt an uncanniness so strong I almost felt sick. I want to pray to God what he saw wasn't real. Yeah, but you don't believe that God has your best interest in mind, so I mean, what good would that do exactly? Man, this is. That reminds me of what Chase saw in the mirror in TJ's route. It does, yeah. But I have the funny feeling God's still not listening. I say, wasn't the worst thing I've seen. But it was bad. It's uncomfortable now. Sorry, but would you mind going now? She's about to spoon her door shut in the main lobby. I think it's my time to leave anyhow. Attention turns to a suitcase in the low light as they walk into the lobby. I don't see the secretary anymore. Maybe she went home. Fur on my neck stands as I walk past Briggs' office and make it to the exit of the building. But I sigh with relief when I feel the cold night air on my face. I look around and see signs of where Nick might have gone off to. Oh, so that's a trade-off. Yeah, makes sense. Walking down the path, I don't see anything, but I can hear a metallic rattling. Behind one of the dunes, I see Nick hunched over. He's holding one can of oil to his cap and watching it fill. Glad you got your cap back. Nick sighs. He lights a match, then puts his cap back on his head. He turns his back on the stars. This really is the last night, isn't it? Yeah, wants to get the golden knot. He nods. I know he would. And he is right to do that, of course. I have been stubborn. Tilts his head slightly as he knows the envelope under my arm. What is that? Just a quick delivery into town I need to make before we meet up with Yao again. That's how I got to listen to a conversation you had with Briggs. You heard everything. I did. Nikolai shook his head. I did not think such evil in a man existed. Then you're more optimistic than I am, because I know it exists. Maybe he was just trying to scare you. He puts both of his giant paws on my shoulders. It worked. All of it was calm. Calm, like a still bog. There's horror in his expression, trying to think of what to say next before Nick steps in closer. His eye catches the envelope on my arm again. Is the envelope sealed? I don't blame him for avoiding trying to think of what he heard very long. I don't think so. Tell me what it says. I slip a little bit of string off the wooden knob and flip open what looks like a printed telegraph. Nick's eyes widen as he looks over the paper. Do you know what this says, Sam? I shake my head. The National Guard are on their way. They'll be here tomorrow morning. So that means we really need to be out of town by tonight. We need to warn William, Sam. Wouldn't he just tell us to look out for ourselves? Yes, but if he doesn't know ahead of time, he'll be overwhelmed. I don't know if I have time to deliver this till Will and meet Yao on time one night. Deliver your message first. Then we get the gold. Then we form the Ville. Why in that order? This message is an obligation, not a favor. I do not want somebody after you to fail to meet an obligation. William move on to keep us at the station all night once he knows the danger will begin tomorrow. The order of our actions is clear. Go quickly into town and deliver your message. I'll keep y'all company while we wait for you. I'll be right back. Pulls me close to him, presses lips to mine. Okay. Taste his warm tongue before I realize, and when he pushes me away again, I find it awkward to walk with. Okay, Sam. Wow. Come back to me. Quickly. Dress myself, cheeks hot, as I turn tail and move into town again. The library is less than a 5-minute walk from downtown. So we're definitely going to the mines in this update, yeah. Library, yeah. Go to the back of the building worried I won't see the lit candle in the window. But it's there like usual. I slip inside the door, careful not to make too much noise. Porter Moore is sitting at a small desk with a lit lantern. We did get to see both of them. I am so happy. I love these two. I love the Moores. All the Flynns I can get, man. His brow lifts as he looks me over, his eye focused on the envelope that I carry. I have something for you. I inferred as much. However, I'm used to people delivering their information. How very odd. And how very illuminating. He reaches an arm out, not even looking at me, and I hesitate. Don't read too much into that. My friend, the entire point of me is to read too much into everything. Now hand over the envelope if you please. Just one thing. Don't make me remind you that this just one singular thing can vary greatly in magnitude. He's certainly right about that. I don't need anything from him now, but this envelope might be one of the most valuable pieces of information he could get his hands on right now. If I wanted to, I could probably convince him to let me change my answers from last time we met. He's a lot more dangerous than I thought. Boy. Okay, I have a chance to get Ben in trouble. I'm doing it. I'm taking it, but I'm saving anyway. I have a chance to get Ben in serious trouble. I'm taking it. I wasn't being entirely honest the last time we talked. Oh? It's a good thing you're telling me now. I generally am always finding out the truth eventually. Who was your primary contact with the Union? Ben. He's someone to keep close, isn't he? And that's settled. You know, most people give me a great deal to change their story and be given a second chance. No soul on earth is given a third chance. Now then, would you quit mucking around and hand over that exquisite-looking letter? I shove it roughly into his hands. He slipped the paper out of its parcel out of closer light of his lantern, let a sudden squeal, and puckered his lips, letting the air puff out. This could very well change everything. Pulled the letter into his pocket and started packing things into his bag. Where are you going? Let out a whistle and started talking in a sing-song tune. The timeliness of this message is where the money is. I can't sit around waiting for all the figurative will just slip through my fingers. Have any more busy with me? I'm afraid I'll have to wait. Shop's closed for the night. He starts pushing me toward the door. Could tip him over if I wanted, but the sheer pushiness of his attitude is a force of its own. Good morrow and good luck, sir. Adieu. Oh boy, yeah. Once I'm outside, I'm at the door. It's not long before I hear a door on our side of the building and open and close. I can't pretend I'm not curious where it's going. But if I tail him, then Nick and Yacht have to wait even longer. I'm not going to do that to them. I'm going to leave downtown behind me as I wander back in the direction of the miner shacks. As I look around me, I see more activity tonight than I've seen in a good while. Folks are on their porches, rocking on their chairs and drinking together. Bars that are typically less frequented than the hip look full tonight, bottle caps rattling the tables as the men slam their fists down, laughing. I wonder if things will be the same after tomorrow, or if it'll ever be the same once we're gone for good. I'm still worried about William is going to take everything. Then again, he doesn't seem like the kind of person who struggles to find a way that works for him through life. He told us to survive, and that's what we're going to do, even if it can't be here. I don't even have to get back to the shacks to meet either of them. Yao and Nick are waiting there by the crossroads. My best friend looks at me with eyes as bright as ever, smiling at me. The tiger is loaded with sacks and tools, expression overcast in quiet determination. I know I had my initial reservations about trusting the tiger. Ooh, this I trust him. I trust him. Help is what I always needed, even if my luck hasn't been so great in the past. I knew you wouldn't take long. We did not have much more time to spare. Let us hurry. Though we walked the ordinary trail for a while, it doesn't take long to figure out we're not going back to the official entrance. Yeah, looks ahead of us and behind us. Then he takes a sudden left off the road. We follow him past shrubs and down hills until we come across a very familiar place. I see the big boulders stacked on top of one another. I swear, this fucking entrance to the mine has seen so much in these games. Oh my gosh. This is where Brian took his victims. This is where he took Cam. This is where fucking Jack died. Who knows what else, honestly. Good grief. I can even see the fissure in the side of the rock, covered in brush, now that I know where it is. The place where Jack took me the first time. Do we have to go this way? Nick looks confused. Well, no, we don't. But it is the quickest way to the right path. This is the entrance where Jack almost killed me. Or I ended up killing him. To give me another look. But the tiger cuts in quickly, as if embarrassed he hadn't thought to ask. There are other ways in. Places where we could go without the... There is no need to think on evil memories when there will be plenty of evil down there. It holds my paw. You don't have to go in with us, Sam. I can grab enough gold for the both of us. I wouldn't want to live in a world without you for all the gold in that mine, Nick. I might as well have died the day you found my head split open. You've already been good to me. Both of you. Yao as well, whose ears splay back. Yeah, you too, Yao. I do not need any praise, but you should take it. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't known the right way to run when we saw whatever it was we saw last time. If hell wants me, then you both stand in its way. The only hell I believe in is the one that people keep making. Exactly. When it comes time for us to crawl out of it, let us lend each other the strength to crawl out together. He grabs Nick and he grabs me. Let us be brothers before and after this ordeal, and for whatever comes next. I already consider you family, yo. How could I not when you and Sam were the ones who put up with my snoring all these years? They look dazed. They want to know what's on my mind. I don't know what family is. I feel stupid for saying it, but it's the truth. Family to me means people who yell. People that want the pigs bled out and the walls whitewashed before the sun is higher than noon. Y'all don't remind me of my family, but I want what this is. Just in a better place under better circumstances. You're both are meeting my eyes right now. Can y'all just make me a promise? I do not make promises. What's on your mind, Sam? If we don't manage to get the gold after all, can y'all just leave me down there? I'm tired of tasting a piece of something I might never have. Nikolai places his hands on my shoulders. No! He pulls away from me. We will get the gold, and then we will get you. He smiles at me. His gaze is intense. No brother left behind. This is so fucking sweet. God. You go back to staring at the boulders. I'll go first. There's all yours to protest just starts to climb. I can smell the weeds and the fresh dirt as he kicks up. He kicks up as he scrambles to the top and knees of his jeans, dusty. Yao practically leaps up the rocks, leaving little evidence of his trace as he reaches the top. I don't make as much of a mess of the cliffside ascending as Nick did, but I'm still fairly slow and bulky rising up. Yeah, when Nick bit off her hand at the same time as I rise. I take Nick's hand first, then the tiger's. Whoa! Me so forcefully, it feels like I'm flying for a moment, but I land gracefully on my feet. Do you both remember the way in and out? Surprisingly, I do. We shouldn't need to if not. We shouldn't need to if we do not separate again. Sometimes there's a good reason to. I remember. Then let us go. One by one, we drop down into the fissure. All of us have to crouch to avoid the stalactites and the rest of the cavern ceiling. Okay, so it's tight that's on the top of it. Okay, right. We go left first, but instead of going left where Jack led me, we go right. I picture the map in my head, and Yao's stern glares when he instructs me on which direction I should go, even after getting turned around. It's fuzzy, but it's there. After that right, you go as straight as you can go without stopping. You take a left at the dead end, then a right at the corner, and another right. Then you take a left at the T-junction, going all the way straight until you can't go straight anymore. To the tunnel with the big fissure. This is connecting to Echo in such great ways because in the Murdoch update that I did yesterday, the Hendricks mansion burned down, and in Flynn's route there is the picture of William after it burned down, and in this one we have Sam learning how. In this route we have Sam learning how to navigate the mines, which goes with Leo's route when he's like possessing Sam when he's possessing Chase and helps him get out of there. We have almost made it. What should we do over here, Velasquez? Ignore them. He hands each of us a burlap potato sack. We should fill up as much gold as these bags in our pockets can carry. He passes me a pick and a hand crank. Wouldn't it be faster to use dynamite? We don't know anything about the natural integrity of these caves, Sam. A blast could cause a cave-in. The work will be slow but discreet. It is the safest way to do this without more reasons than just a cave-in. Y'all take a look at the fissure in the wall. I can tell that Nick is tense because he isn't humming. I can tell that Yao is tense because he isn't moving. But the three of us step through the threshold. We hear the sound of running water again like before, but thankfully nothing else. The gold veins glitter in the light of Nick's cap, and for a moment, we're more awed by the divinity of nature than scared of it. Nick takes the first plunge into the earth with his pick. I'm terrified. I half expect to hear a scream or for the earth itself to quake and rumble, but the rocks speckled with glitter tumble down at his feet cleanly. Yao uses a hand crank to drill into larger pieces of ore, then takes care of the rest with his pickaxe. I ask Nick where I should aim each time, and he just chuckles and points. Feels like it takes a few hours to fill the bag with rocks. They're really damn heavy when I put the sack on my back. Glad my job demands I keep the muscle, or else I'd be probably be struggling right now. Yao grunts as he wears his sack too and wipes his forehead with the back of his hand. Now we have finished the easy part. Too busy to catch my breath before I can respond. Was that easy part? The hard part will be storing and transporting the gold not only out of the mine but out of the city. It's too precious to leave in the bunks. And nothing we put there is safe anyway. He adjusts his cap. How utilitarian of you. You are starting to sound more like me. Well, what else was I going to say? Knowing you, I thought you would consider saying goodbye to everybody the hardest thing. Don't remind me. We can always write them once we have all this money to buy names. Doesn't have to be goodbye forever. And it won't be. So long as nobody becomes suspicious of us. If we're rich now, why don't we just ride out of town in style? We could afford the fanciest car and the train. After all this, I'd say we deserve it. No, tickets are trackable. Are you coming with us, Yao? I would like to. Though there is another I would like to travel with us. If he will listen to me. Who is it? Tiger exhales. The sable Chang Fulin. You mean the opium dealer? Yao frowns. I wonder what he would say if that is the first thing people think of him now. Shakes his head. I want him away from these people. But we cannot tell him about the gold. I want to try convincing him another way. If he does not come with us after one attempt to convince him, then I will be content with leaving him here. Sounds like you already expect him to say no. I hope he will say yes once he hears what he needs to hear. Who will you say goodbye to? Will, Cynthia, Dora? That is, if I can face the madam. She was always better to me than she had to be. As loath as I was to be in my position. I don't intend to stop talking with William or once we're out of Echo. Maybe he'll come to his senses and work in a better city. We'll see how he reacts to everything tonight. Reacts to what? Briggs called the National Guard. The National Guard? These men are in danger. We know, Yao. That's why we have to get the golden knot. If Willie's present, I think you'll be able to keep everybody safe. Against the guard? It is a considerable amount of faith placed in one man. He puts both his hands on your shoulders. I frequently place considerable amount of my faith in one man. Solidarity forever, friend. Tiger's ears flick and he closes his eyes, nodding. Solidarity forever. Stare at the two, seeing being a moment of silence. That's the thing that common is saying they agree to share everything, right? Not exactly, Sam. Yeah. It's not exactly the way they'd say it. Tiger shrugs. Close enough. Both of us have been sharing you at the very least. True. Nick's brow furrows and he blinks a bit. What? Do not worry about it. Now then, we should think of what we are going to stow the gold before we go back into town. So long as we don't keep it in the mines. Well, I would hope that point is a given. Still looks like they're thinking a great deal about something. Then it looks like he puts it to rest. We could bury it like corsairs used to do. Without losing it? I would rather keep it in plain sight. Surprisingly few are willing to sort through a bag of dirty laundry if that is the first thing they find when looking for something. Let us put them in our travel case before the sun rises. Agreed. Good feeling Nick's sad they won't get to bury any gold like a pirate would. Very well then. Okay, yeah, here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. I'm gonna go piss and I'll be back. Alright, let's do this. Let's run. Let's get ready to run, everyone. Let's get ready to fucking run. What we hear shakes us to our core. There's a terrible blast. And then oh no! Get out! Get out! Run! The cavern around us shakes and grumbles. This reminds me of the ending of the Borderlands or Final Prayer. That movie is fucked. It's so good, but it's, oh my god, the final scene. I can feel my heart thump in my chest. What's happening, Nick? He doesn't answer so much as tackle me, taking me to the floor. Yep. He puts his arms and his head over me, burying my skull in his neck. There's a roar of earth and water bellowing all around me. What's happening? Was that, like, picked up by the audio? Because I can't hear anything. And then there's nothing. Nothing except for the sound of him breathing above me slowly. Nick, are you okay? I'm fine. Is Yao okay too? Hear a sputtering sound and a growl. I am fine. We're lucky. What do you mean, lucky? He looks like he doesn't want to say what he's about to say next. Cave-ins are often lethal or cause serious injury. Cave-in? Crawl from Nick's body and look toward the fissure in the... This right here, this is one of the most fucking terrifying things I can think of. Even without the fucking cave monsters. Fuck this. Fuck this. It's completely covered up with rock. Part of the tunnel behind it must have collapsed. Shit. Look on the floor for any sign of a pick or a hand crank beneath the rubble. Pick up one rock, but 3 more fall in its place. The tunnel makes a crunching, terrible crunching noise if something is splitting by the seam. You might not want to be so hasty. There is nearly 500 meters of dirt above us and 4,000 metric tons of water in the aquifer above. There is likely another way out if there is running water down here. Considering that there are many great things put down here that are not accounted for in any of the foreman's paperwork. The fact that Yao is down here at least makes me feel a little better. If there's anybody who could find a way out, it's him. Now that's what I'm talking about. Who is this? We stop talking, we hear the voice. Rogers sounds hurt. Rogers will limp through if he wants a cut of the overtime. I know those voices. You collapsed the damn tunnel and opened a big ass chasm. But I don't know what is. You heard the assayer. No way how a river with samples like that in the soil wouldn't have veins of gold or silver deep down. I want to get close to make sure. There's a blue jay and a golden retriever. Nate and Ben, without a goddamn doubt. No point finding gold if we're buried with it. You know, if we blast our way in there, we can blast our way out. You set off the blast. Of fucking course he did. Ben? Nick cups his hands. What the? Dark eyes go wide when he sees the light of Nick's hat in the darkness. Just some of the foreigners. I ain't foreign, you dumb piece of shit. Well, with the company you keep, you might as well be. The fuck are you foreigners doing up there? That's a good goddamn question. This area of the mine is uncharted. Say I think y'all are doing down here. Ask them that. There's somebody know a way out. Settle down, Nate. Tell me to settle down. Roger's gonna be able to rubble if the rocks caught him. I think I see. Oh boy. It's not blood, that's groundwater. The tunnel up here connects the rest of the mine. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Yeah, it did. Until you fucking collapsed it. Buddha looks overjoyed. I'm really going way out of here. Ben squints and points a finger up at me. Now that don't make no sense. How'd you get here if you annexed the marked shaft that nobody knows about? There was a fissure in the rock that got overlooked. You were tasked to dig this deep too, yes? By the boss. Yeah, that's right. So were we. I both turned to him, gobsmacked with the blatant lie he just told. Yeah, well, what did I tell you? He's a schemer, he's conniving. He lies. He does what's best for him. Utilitarian, like he said. Bullshit. It is truth. He said, dig deep and we could for dinosaur bones. Oh, he's doing a more exaggerated accent. Said they can be found at the bottom of the underground rivers. Dangerous, but worth for us. Triple the pay. Ben snort. Now that does sound a lot more like him. Maybe you're supposed to be here after all. Nick lowers his voice. Don't provoke them. I have the tools that we need to get out. What do I know about them? Can't tell you much about the bird, but that dog is fucking crazy. You try to do anything for him, you'll just end up hurt or worse. He speaks up again. Is it possible to go back the way you came? We'd be doing that already if we could. I told you we could. We're not fucking doing it, asshole. Now who exactly do you think you are talking back to me like that? Forget who's leading this run? Sound to me like you're forgetting the objective of the job. We can barely do jack shit without riders and we don't even know his condition. Not gonna die in a hole for your pride. You think I'm ever gonna let you in on a job after this if you bail out now? Wake up, jackass. We need to get out of here. Foreigners have to show up some way, somehow. They know the way out, they know the way out. Someone's fucking smart. Someone is smart. Someone values his life. Someone isn't a piece of shit. I like this person. It's that simple. And here I thought the albino was dumb. You have tools. We know way out. Why not make obvious trades? We help one another. You must be the luckiest Oriental that sailed the ocean blue. Or crouched down to pick up a hand crank. Or walking back towards us and suddenly stops. His mouth opens like he's going to speak, but instead he gurgles. What? Kill him. Kill him! Oh my god, I liked him. I liked that guy. He was actually okay. You fucking jackass! Ben pulls the pickaxe from his body and tosses it idly to the side of the... Tell this man to listen. You That used to be a slur, but it's also sort of means stupid. Really think you're slick, don't you? You think I'd fall for a stunt like that when plain as day I see that goddamn Lach wearing his cap? Briggs will not allow that. Briggs does not want you. He can't use you. He knows it. You know it. I know it. Poor old Nate didn't seem to know, but he was too busy insulting everybody to know where he's burned up all his goodwill. You're all up to something. Now, I might not know what it is, but it's pretty clear that it's criminal and against the interests of CSCG as a whole. You just killed the man. No. You foreigners and albino just killed a man, but they panicked and squabbled over his fault. It really was. Only man with the tool. And to take care of one another and to, oh my fucking god. I can promise you that that's the story it makes to the papers if you ever get to see him. Why would you care much about legality? Well, you're smarter than you sound. Or I guess I could say dumber, since you just let me know I shouldn't underestimate you anymore. Why waste eruption on a violent killer? You are a force of nature. Only strength or will can break you. You try and rush me for the tools. He takes out a pistol. I don't much care for your chances. After all, I could just miss and bury us all. Or I might be a good enough shot to get all you at once. So what do you want then? Was I not clear? I want you to try and kill each other. Promise I'll let the last one of you live since I need you for the way out. They're not going to do that. Maybe not yet. I have a feeling we'll start to get a real difference. I'm desperate after a few days in here without food. Spider Monster, where are you? Come kill this fuck, please. Unless y'all have a good enough reason to turn on each other. Maybe all here because you found something. A whole treasure is a lot nicer than 1/3 of a treasure, right? Never mind about that, but another cave-in is about to happen. Something big and... You're dead! You're fucking dead! I never thought I'd be happy to see this thing. Holy shit, it's so fucking big. Oh my god, that's so fucking big. Something big and stone colored drops, dangles in the ceiling, dropping behind bed like a boulder. It's only when I see the legs extend that I realize it looks like a belly. We all stare at it. The thousands of socketless eyes stare back. I feel the scream about to escape my throat as Yao covers my mouth with his paw. Ben smiles, a sickly grin from ear to ear. Are we already starting? I realize that if Yao wanted to snap my neck, he could, but he doesn't. He was muffling my yell. But as Ben waits, then notices, and turns to see what we're looking at, a horrible noise escapes him. Oh, mother god! I recoils, stumbling over the dogs and twisting his ankle before falling the rapids below. The scream turns into a gargle as he's sucked under the water. Ben isn't what kills us, it might be this. But it's not coming after us. And it doesn't go under the water after Ben. It walks up to what we think is the corpse of Nate. Okay, it's basically confirmed at this point. It only cares about murder. It only cares about murder. I mean, we kind of already knew that, but still, it's cool. It's neat to get confirmation. Most of me is horrified. Another part of me is raging with hatred for myself and the monster in front of me, telling me to go. But another part of me wants to see what it does. Wants to understand the workings of something it shouldn't know. There's that that natural curiosity. I'd want to on it. I think all of us would. After all, whatever is before me might be divinity of a kind. Don't look. Don't stay. Don't dance in the web. But I feel Nick's burly arm grab me and bring me back. Yao runs behind the thing, grabbing a pick and handsker before coming back to us. It doesn't chase him. It doesn't seem to notice him. For a moment, all of the eyes, okay. Oh my god, I hate that. I hate you. Oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god. And I close mine. I would too. I would too, buddy. I would too. Okay, that's a hell of a cliffhanger, guys. Holy shit. Holy shit. So Ben is dead. But they're trapped in the cave with whatever that thing is. Thanks. Good job to everybody. Yeah. Oh my god, wow. That was... I mean, I knew we were gonna get something good because it's a smoke room, but still. There's some great shit in this update. We gotta look into arguably one of the most one of the most disturbing scenes in this game with Briggs, because that's based in reality, and people like that still exist to this day. That is the most terrifying part about that to me, that people that are like that exist. Yeah. Same with Ben, willing to kill another person just to get what he wants. Fucking disgusting. Fucking... But yeah, I really like this update. As usual, I seem to always like these updates. It seems to always happen. I just get sucked in. So, I guess thanks for watching. Bye now, I need to make dinner now, so, yeah, fuck off. See ya.